Hey there, it's Sarah, author, speaker, and advocate, and today I want to talk a little bit about different ways in which we can quiet the noise of our own internal critic. So we are our own worst critics, right? And oftentimes our thoughts can seem all-consuming. There is this negative internal monologue that races through our minds on a daily basis and devours any hope for reinstating joy and peace that we deserve. As trauma survivors, we need to learn to quiet this noise. We need to actively begin practicing how to turn off these negative thoughts and transition them to more positive ones. For after all, we are the keepers of our own on-off switch, and only we can control what enters and exits our thoughts. We have to actively practice decluttering our minds first. So this means as we begin to focus on self-care, part of that routine needs to be to induce a lasting sense of calm. Trauma causes undue and prolonged anxiety and panic within us. Often our traumatic events that we've experienced and long afterwards, we remain indefinitely hypersensitive to stimuli, constantly wondering when the ball will drop or the next foot will drop, so to speak. And we'll have to then again put out yet another fire. Most of this hypersensitivity, though, is unwarranted. Of course, life is chocked full of unexpected interruptions and responsibilities we couldn't have possibly planned for. This is just what it means to be human, and every now and again, we're going to be met with unpleasant circumstances that, of course, we'll need to circumvent. However, PTSD survivors tend to get stuck in this state of limbo, in which they are unable to relax and simply enjoy the blessings of life. They're always wondering what's around the next corner, and this is especially taxing to the mind, body, and soul. So how can we quiet the noise? Well, first things first, you must make time for yourself. You'll need to set aside time for self-reflection and garner a better understanding of the most common clutter inducers that pollute your mind in order to release these. Are you constantly worried about your children, about what others think of you? You have to determine what the weight is that you carry. And by finding these quiet moments alone to analyze your thoughts, you'll begin to comprehend that the aftermath of trauma and how your circumstances have affected you in a deep way. You'll begin to understand how at your core you have been impacted. And in understanding what has been altered within you, you can then focus on what you're going to do to get rid of this negativity. Cognitive behavioral therapy is particularly helpful. Okay, so this is basically thinking of those specific things that are weighing you down, are keeping this negativity in your life, and then trying to transition these thoughts to more positive ones, or to dig deeper and determine, what you can actually debunk. So, for instance, if you're in a split custody situation and are constantly paranoid that something is going to happen on the other side to your children, you'll need to work to understand why you feel this way. Okay, and then you'll want to debunk feelings wherever you can. Has anything happened thus far? What makes you think the other side is unsafe? And what can you do to feel more secure when they're away? Okay, and then you'll want to move to the next level. You'll want to understand why you have this need to maintain control. Why do you feel that you have to actively monitor your children's every move to feel comforted? What will you do when they are, say at X age, or they're doing Y or Z? What you want to do is pinpoint specific life events and actively work your way out of the worry that you will inevitably feel. When we take the time to better understand ourselves, we also begin to see how successful we can be at getting ourselves out of this negative state. We are trauma survivors, after all, and thus we are incredibly resilient, right? The worst part is over. Now all we have is time, and we need to take that time to work on quieting any residual unpleasantness and taking back our lives and finding that joy and peace once and for all. Thanks.